Hey everyone, now onto the ninth episode of Voltron Legendary Defenders 7th Season, Know Your Enemy. The Paladins and their allies are no longer just on the fringes of the Milky Way, they are now back on Earth. But having to make a pretty difficult side stop along the way because they gained the news that with Sendak's occupation originally intending to draw out the lions, whether they were on Earth or not, they decide to actually leave all 5 on one of Saturn's moons and commandeer a Gora fighter to actually return home. But they soon make their way to the Garrison and the one highly fortified base that they have. And there's some nice catching up. Lance and Pidge reunite with their respective families on the base. There's some nice introductions to Allura, Rommel, Karan, Cosmo. So overall, it's kind of a catching up episode. Of course, between the flashback episodes that we got, they get to see the advances they made through Altan and Galar technology. Shiro has at least a very brief moment to mourn Adam at a memorial wall in the facility. Karan has one of the few brief moments of comedy in this when bittersweetly complimenting the integration of technology due to Earth's advances still being quite crude compared to Altair's. But we learned about the MFE fighters and how the Atlas is coming along. And in fact, it's understandable just from what they've noted of its possible defense and offense capabilities, but its size is also very daunting. It can apparently house all 5 lions as well as a decent size attack squadron and stuff. So in a way, it kind of seems like, to make a pop culture reference to this, kind of the show's counterpart to Marvel's Helicarrier. It would be kind of like a mobile headquarters if it can get flying. That's unfortunately the primary obstacle now. And between the ideas to possibly trade the Lions to Sendak or keep fighting in spite of humanity's continued suffering, there's still some complications between what's considered diplomatic or the worthy course of action. Still dealing with Garrison chain of command, those sorts of things. Sort of the literal take on the title is they actually managed to put together an AI version of Sendak, sort of like the original Alfor digital counterpart on the Castle of Lions from a while back. And they basically just ask it a series of adapting questions about who he is, where he's from, how he conquers. And it turns a bit emotional when Laura needs a break from, realizing that Sendak's description of overall Gara methods includes destroying a planet if there's just continued resistance and sheer determination, like Altea displayed. But she at least tries to focus her energies to something positive, like creating a new prosthetic arm for Shiro, since even his cloned self has gone without it since the clones battle with Lance. And the kind of standout character in this one is actually Hunk, since upon seeing the family reunions, he understandably easily notices that his family is not there. They're still on the outside, somewhere in the area. And despite the dangers it could cause, both in Garrison resources and Paladin safety, he and Lance journey out with James and Veronica, I think, to one of the nearby work camps, where they're unsure exactly what Sendak's forces are working on, despite general knowledge that they're using humans for slave labor, mining ore and other materials. So, rescue mission is underway for Hunk to get his family out of there. And that's that episode. Sort of a, like I said, kind of a catch-up for the Paladins and the Garrison. Learning more about each other, figuring out how to work together, what their next step could be. And so I'll see you later at episode 62.